Yes, I was discussing about packaging and infection step. After the ligation products are formed, you need to go for packaging. Though we can do the regular transformation, since these bacteriophages are the viruses that have got naturally the property of infecting the bacteria, that property can be used for our advantage. So when the phage particles are replicated in vivo, they produce long linear molecules with multiple copies of the genome. These concatamers which are formed, they'll be cleaved at the cos sites in order to form the individual genomes. Then these individual genomes will be packaged into virus particles. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So once the religated, once the recombination products are produced, we need to allow them to be packaged into virus particles, for which packaging proteins need to be provided in the form of packaging extract. This packaging extract, as I told you, it is prepared from 2 bacterial strains, each infected with different packaging deficient mutant, so that the concentration of packaging proteins will be surplus. So in combination, these 2 extracts prepared from 2 bacterial strains, they provide all the necessary proteins for the packaging reaction. So the lambda phage particles produced in this way, they can be used to infect a culture of E. coli cells. Once the phage particles are produced in vitro conditions, they are allowed to infect the normal E. coli cells. And the ligated ends which do not contain an insert, or the ligated ends with the insert which is too smaller or too larger than 20 kb, they become too small or too large to be packaged, which means that only the ligated ends with the appropriate size fragment will be suitable for packaging into virus particle. So the recombinants with 2 left or 2 right arms will become non-viable. That means they will not be packaged into virus particles. So as I mentioned earlier, all the ligated products which are unwanted will be ruled out at this packaging step itself. Only the left arm, right arm ligated with the insert will be the appropriate sized recombinant product to be packaged into intact virus particle. This infection process is very efficient, and it can produce up to 10 power 9 recombinants per microgram of the vector DNA. Then these infected cells from the packaging reaction, they are spread on a agar plate which has been pre-spread with very high concentration of uninfected cells. Please follow carefully. These uninfected cells from the packaging reaction, they are spread on the agar plate which is pre-spread with the high concentration of uninfected cells. This high concentration of uninfected cells that are spread on the agar plate, they grow to form continuous lawn. So on this continuous lawn, even the single infected cell that forms the clear areas are plaques within the lawn after incubation. And these clear areas or plaques are formed because of the repeated cycles of lysis and reinfection, because of which it does not allow the cells from growing. That means the repeated cycles of lysis and reinfection prevents the cells from growing. That's why it is formed as clear areas or plaques. And these clear zones or plaques, they are analogous to the single bacterial colonies, because each plaque or clear area is formed because of single infected cell, and these are formed because of the repeated cycles of lysis and reinfection. Because of the repeated cycles of lysis and reinfection that prevents the cells from growing, that's how the clear areas or plaques are formed. And the recombinant DNA can be purified for further analysis or manipulation from the phage particles isolated from the plaques. Obviously, the plaque areas consist of high concentration of the phage particles. These phage particles contain the recombinant DNA. that recombinant DNA can be purified for further manipulation from the phage particles that could be isolated from the plaques, or you can isolate and purify recombinant DNA from the supernatant broth of a culture that is infected with specific recombinant plaque. Either you can directly take from the plaques, you can purify the recombinant DNA and use for further analysis, or you can isolate it from the supernatant broth of a culture which is infected with specific recombinant plaque. So you can look at the picture here, formation of plaques by lambda infection. As I told, the phage particles produced in the packaging reaction are allowed to infect the normal E. coli cells, and these infected cells will be spread on the plate, which is pre-spread with high concentration of uninfected cell, that is grown as a continuous lawn. And these infected cell, each infected cell will form a plaque or clear area. I mean, this area is the lawn of E. coli cells, which is grown because of the pre-spread uninfected cells. And these clear areas or plaques are formed by the lambda infection and lysis. And these clear areas are formed because of the repeated cycles of cell lysis and reinfection, which do not allow the cells to grow. That's why they are formed as clear zones or the plaques, and these are analogous to the single bacterial colonies formed. And this is where you will have your lambda particles, and these lambda particles consist of your recombinant DNA. So directly, either you can take from these clear areas, or you can infect the cell culture with these plaques, and from those infected cultures broth also you would be able to purify the recombinant DNA, which will be used for further analysis. So this is where I will so the references are again Walden-Primrose and Turner. Here I will stop the class, and the remaining properties, even the lysogenic property of this bacteriophage lambda also can be used for can be used as cloning vector, that we will discuss later on. We will move on to the other bacteriophage vectors. Those are M13 phage vectors. So that is all I wanted to